Yoo-hoo-hoo. Well, hello. Welcome back to the BodPod, episode 4. What? Oh my God. This is crazy. Episode 4. So this is the fourth episode that I am recording, and that's incredible. I feel both excited and nervous, but also really at peace with this. The way it's translated out to my community is incredible. I've had the most amazing feedback, and I'm so inspired. I can't stop thinking about talking on the BodPod. So thank you so much for joining me. I am your host, Rose Bennett, and I am so pleased that you're here with me again. So the last 3 episodes I've done, I started with a really loose opener, just like me, where I did a bit of an intro and backstory. I then went on to talking about some helpful things with body positivity. The last episode was a very teaching tool structure base. I'm trying to bring something tangible for you to take away each episode. However, for this episode, I decided to just fucking chill out a little bit. I'm going to go back into a bit more of the origin story, talk a bit about BDYPos, the business, the t-shirts, and just really chill and just let the conversation flow because although I am going to be bringing you good quality, tangible tools, it's also about just being fucking realistic and relatable. So today, I'm just going to let the episode go with the flow and hope that I don't talk too much trash. Just enough, the right amount of trash. That's always been my ethos. I've always been just a little bit trashy, sometimes a lot. So, let's just jump into some juicy content. So I thought today I might open up my history, my personal history, and tell you about a pivotal time in my life, an era, if you will, that changed the direction of my life. At the time, it was horrific, and it certainly paved some dark pathways for me. But looking back now, would I change a thing? No, it's fucking hilarious, and I am almost grateful. Something important about looking back at our past is when we reach a state of empowerment, we can look back and previous versions of ourselves that maybe used to make us shudder, we look back on and think, I was just doing the very best I could at the time, and I'm not going to punish myself for that. I was doing my best with the shit that was being handed to me, and the outcome wasn't great, but I always back myself. And I spent a lot of years slaying myself for not behaving or being or doing the right thing. But I've always been a good person, and I've had my battles. It comes down to the fact that I've tried my fucking best, and yeah, sometimes the results have been less than, but I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't owe anyone an apology. But anyway, let's go back because you're going to fucking love it. Back in high school, we all had a great time. Well, I was poking along reasonably well. I was, smart. I had friends. This was probably before the huge wave of self-awareness really hit, but I was poking along. I don't think I was particularly athletic. I wasn't, actually. I was a little bit porky, but I was a bit tomboyish. I was a bit of a grub, really. I was a Josie Grossy. Yeah, that's more like it. I definitely identify as a Josie Grossy. And those who know me will know exactly what I mean. However, running along into, year 8 or year 9, when all the girls were popping out little titties and, starting to take form, and, all the boys were going wild for it. And we were all trying to kind of start to be a little bit sexy and a bit cute and a bit sought after. It was important to get on the radar of the popular boys, because obviously Hollywood taught us that we must catch the most popular boy and everyone else is trash. And the same, we should be prom queen. So I was poking along thinking I wasn't doing too bad, just kind of waddling around. And then a particular boy gave me a name. And you know how once you have a name, it becomes who you are, known by, even by the kids 4 years above that don't know you, that they'll know you and they'll remember the name. So, yeah, my name was Fat Roll Titty. Fat Roll Titty. Did you hear it in the back? Fat Roll Titty. Fat Roll Titty. It rolls right off the tongue. Fat Roll Titty. Fat Roll Titty. Fat Roll Titty. Fat Roll Titty. You know? Fat Roll Titty. Bless her heart. So at this point, I didn't have boobs. I still don't have boobs. But I had those little Bonds bralettes and this awful little fucking turd. I don't know, he must have seen through my shirt or something or other, but he made up a rumor that I had put my belly fat roll up into my bra and tried to pass it off as a titty. And therefore I was aptly named Fat Roll Titty. So at first I thought it was pretty funny because I didn't quite understand, but, you know, fucking Fat Roll Titty. And this dude was a fucking joke anyway, bless his heart. But after a while, when the name really took off, obviously it started to make me really self-conscious because I didn't even think I was fat. I wasn't that aware. I had little girl boobs. Like, they were just a little bit puffy, but nothing more than that. Like, my titties didn't pop out till at least I was 22, and it was kind of just like pop, pop, and that was it. It was very underwhelming, and if you ask my family, I was devastated because I was waiting for so long for big, voluptuous breasts to pop out, like my big sisters and my mum's, but pop, pop, that's all I got anyway. But, so I was confused. I'm like, but I don't have boobs, but I guess, is this my fat roll? And then, you know, then the criticality began, and my less than loving self-reflection really started to evolve. And it was from that point, you know, I was quite reactive when I was teased. And in hindsight, again, I don't blame myself, but I could have taken a better strategy because I became a massive target. The next rumor was I got called can of Coke. Just can of Coke. Sometimes people just threw empty cans of Coke at me because somebody spread another perler that I gave head for a can of Coke. Sometimes I'd walk through the quad and, like, groups of boys older than me that I'd of course been perving on would yell out things like, "Would you take Fanta?" And I was like, oh, like, what the fuck? Like, I'd never even seen a penis. I didn't understand. But anyway, it went on and I just became a massive target. And then I think I did hook up with some dude at one point or another. And of course that then justified everything. And then I became inscripted across all the tables. I was like, it was all about what a, you know, dirty slut I was, and, you know, how I just gave head for cans of Coke and shit. What? Anyway, yeah, it was fucking savage. So I acted out and I just, like, abandoned, like, the whole, you know, I felt like I was a good girl. I had good grades. I had good friends. Everything was sweet and innocent. And I just fucking imploded inside. I hated myself. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't explain to my parents properly. I couldn't articulate. I took them to the school once to show them the table, and it kind of not fell on deaf ears, but what do you do? Like, they can't control the little snot bags. And so I sort of morphed into what they told me I was, just not good enough, like, or just gross and slutty. And I mean, I just wanted to have a nice boyfriend and, like, you know, explore. And it was hard then because I was cast aside. So the good ones didn't really pay interest. And then, yeah, so that's when I started drinking. And because I felt like I was basically a piece of shit and gross and, like, slutty, so no one wanted me, I was like, you know, basically a old wet mop and, like, just gross. No one wanted to be associated with slut bag, Coca-Cola girl, fat roll titty. So whenever I did sort of do social relationships with peers, I'd get really drunk first because I was like, they hate me. I hate me. No one's going to like me really. So, and then it gave me confidence. I didn't give a shit. Alcohol released, like, all my inhibitions, and I was like, fuck you all. Fuck you guys, fuck the world, fuck the lot of yous. I'm going to go fucking wild. I'm going to watch this motherfucker burn. And I did. And I became a little turd. And, of course, I ran in bed circles because they're the only ones that would have me. And it wasn't that maybe I couldn't have calmed the fuck down at one point, but I just didn't have the resources. I was full of hormones. I was angry. I felt unjust. Justice had been denied. I was pissed off. And yeah, I was like, well, if no one's going to see me, and if this is the label they give me and I can't do anything about it, I may as well fucking go down and just like take it on, I suppose. It's a bit hard for me to talk about now, and I haven't really said that all out loud in a sentence before. But anyway, so that was a real shit show. And of course, it dribbled out into everything else, so I just stopped giving a fuck about grades. I would wag and then show up for exams, and I'd do well, but not well enough. Like, you know, she should apply herself and she would see much better results, that type of thing. My relationship with my family was difficult at the time. You know, we all were going through different peaks and troughs at the time, and I was just unable to regulate, and I was unable to participate. And it was pretty hard. Those years were really fucking hard. They were hard for my family and they were hard for me. And yeah, so I guess my alcoholism started when I was a teenager, and I remember it would have been about 14, 15, because it started when I started to play soccer, because I was pretty good and I was playing in older groups, and the older girls would drink and, you know, sneak in little vodkas here and there, and it started then. And yeah, and then it just became something I needed. As I got a little bit older, 16, and, you know, people start getting their P plates and driving cars and stuff, it was like, okay, get fucking hammered, go out and just act like a complete lunatic. It was no good. And I, just really started to get this persona where I was wild and free, and I was like giving off the impression that I was like a brave wildling, just, you know, sexually awakened. And it's so funny. I can remember thinking that I was, you know, all of that, but actually looking back, I would have been such a dweeb. And yeah, but I was drinking and essentially just liquid courage, and then just going off and being a rat bag. Yeah. So it continued. I left home at 16, 17. I moved down the road into a house of 21-year-olds. And then just before I turned 18, I moved up to the coast, so 6 hours away from family, into a granny flat. I met up with a bunch of uni students. They were awesome. That was like the summer of my life, actually. Some of them are still my very dear friends. I turned 18. It was my first time living on the beach in a little granny flat out the back of a beach shack, and it was the summer of my life. Everyone was on uni break. I was younger, but like they took me in, and yeah, that was really beautiful. But of course, enter party zone. I then got introduced to bush doofs and hard drugs. So by that stage, from about 18, I was addicted to marijuana. I started taking party drugs really heavily. Dropped out of TAFE that I was doing. I started working maybe at a pub. And again, that just nurtured more the need to drink and take drugs. Yeah, and then it continued. And my drinking habits, although I was in the environment of young people in living that lifestyle, there was always something on my mind irking in the back about how I needed to. There was a voice telling me, you can't function without alcohol, and you know that. But I would just drink it away. And yeah, at that point, at about 18, 19, 20, I dropped to about 57 kilos. I was addicted to cocaine. Had ecstasy and acid most weekends, uppers, psychedelics, then smoke a fuck ton of weed to come down and repeat. Go on benders for days and repeat. And I wasn't functioning. I got an abusive relationship with an older dude, of course, moved in with him. Like, yeah, it was a mess. That was domestic violence. And, you know, I just, and I got sexually assaulted before that by an older dude too, who domestic violence as well. He hit me, and yeah, my God. Ooh, wow. This is much bigger of a can than I was intentionally opening, but anyway, I'm here. Gonna keep going. So we'll pause there just for me so I can kind of, regulate now that I've figured out a little bit better how to do that. It was freaking hectic, that first chapter. What I wanted to do was introduce you to Fat Roll Titty. And I'm going to open up more about my 20s, which is even worse than the teens I just told you about as far as self-sabotage. I'm going to tell you about that, but I can't right now because I need to flip back to the good side if you don't mind. So, Fat Roll Titty. Now I think about it, those little fucking jerks, they were just projecting away from themselves. When you learn about compassion and the core of bullying, what it actually is, if you haven't ever learnt about it, a bully essentially, either consciously or subconsciously, when they meet someone that they feel has a higher, we'll call it energy than them, it might be a better life, they are perceiving better happiness, more money, more joy, more material things, better at sports, better at whatever it is the contention's about. The bully has to bring you down somehow so that they can feel a little bit better about themselves. So when a person is a bully, it's because they see something in you that they don't have, and it opens up the emptiness within themselves. And the only way that they can move through that is to try to bring you down to level up or essentially get above you. So now I know that. I know that these kids, and also because when you are, there's a asset of this, of growing up, there's a pecking order hierarchy in high school, primary school. There's a natural element of order, and that's okay. There's a given there, but then there's bullying and there's catastrophic bullying. So there's different tiers to extremities when it comes to these. And I want to give the kids the benefit of a doubt that I was just easy target, reactive, and they're like, okay, she's hilarious, let's fuck with her. But then, someone who actually goes to the effort of making up rumors with the intention for them to then really go wildfire and just be detrimental to your future. I know, and seeing these people now as adults, I know that actually they must have been feeling really fucking low. And I feel sad for them, and I don't feel resent, even though, of course, I still think they're little fucking turds because I'm defending of young Rosie, but actually, I feel quite sad for them. And if only I'd been empowered at the time to know that. So if you have a little one in primary and or high school, make sure that you spend some time talking about the psychology behind bullying, because perhaps if they can learn about being compassionate, it might just put that fire out for them, and they too can look at their bullies with feeling sad for them, not feeling anger themselves. And for me, like I said earlier, I wish I could have reacted better, but I didn't, and I'm not sorry about that. I did the best I could at the time, and I'm always going to defend little Rosie, always. She was a good kid. She's a funny little grub, and I fucking love her in my heart space. And she is the woman now. She is the girl now that I'm showing the woman that she needed, or that, like, she would be so impressed. She would be so happy, and I am doing it for her because of the way that she maybe got side railed a little. I draw strength from little Rosie because I want to protect her. I want to honor her, and I want to say that all of your pain was not for nothing, because it made us into a fucking badass. Fucking badass. We fucking slay, little Rosie. We fucking slay. And so, good on you, little bitch, for being a tough little one and doing your fucking best. I love you, and I'm fucking grateful. Yeah. So, that was the Fat Roll Titty era. Holy fucking shit. Yeah. So anyway, it is Black Friday today as I am recording here, and I owe you all an explanation. You may have noticed that I have ghosted Black Friday. So for those of you who are new to the BodPod and to the BDYPos community, BDYPos clothing, BDYPos t-shirts essentially, are the core pillar of BDYPos. They are the shields that I make for women to wear out, to give them a buffer between their heart space and external bullshit that society projects. The shirts are made on AS color blanks that I source through my husband's wholesale accounts, and I print positive affirmations on them in our print shop. So I do the designs myself and I print them, and we do a whole bunch of different printing types. I've got direct to film, direct to garment, and screen printing. So depending on what design is, if it's a big colorful one, if it's intricate lines, depends on the print style that I do, because it's all about the integrity of the print. I'm aiming for quality, awesome, delicious shirts. So yeah, that is the core basis. So about 18 months ago now, I kicked off BDYPos, and it's been an incredible journey. Of course, when you start something like that, you start small, and you start, well, for me, I didn't have buy-in, or I bootstrapped it, I think the term is. So I basically just went, oh, cool. Well, Josh has done all the hard work with establishing this print shop. I'm going to do my own brand. So everything essentially was there for me to start using. What wasn't there was my brand name, my brand mission, logos, palettes, my website, and then all of the things that come with operating an e-commerce business. So in the last 18 months, I have been learning how the fuck does one, and it's not drop shipping because I'm printing them myself. So everything from ordering payment gates, product images, product listings, sizing, returns, guarantees, trading as, like all of that policy that all goes behind it, and then the marketing, which has been the massive learning curve for me. All of that is what I've been doing whilst trying to appear legit. The good thing is the t-shirts are so fucking good that I've been getting amazing reviews from day one. So I've still managed to accumulate social proof, and I've still managed to accumulate a good group of return customers, because the t-shirts actually speak for themselves. What I'm selling, it is great t-shirts, but it's actually the feeling of the shirts, and what they do for the women who wear them is actually my product I'm peddling. So learning how to use that to cut through the market, because my competitors are literally Lorna Jane and LSKD. Your favorite t-shirts that you will, buy for yourself when you're doing a wardrobe refresh, you will be, like me, loyal to your brand because you know it's good. It has a certain feeling. Like when you're wearing LSKD and Lorna Jane, you're wearing like pretty top tier, good quality stuff. You're portraying an image, and you also know that you've got quality behind you. These guys have bazillion-dollar budgets to market to you, to sell you the good stuff. My budget is like fucking zero. So I got to come up with creative ways to get attention. And I'm doing it on the side, outside of work. I just had a baby. I got another kid. Like I fucking all of the shit, So that's been interesting, but it's fucking incredible. And the reason why I am succeeding is because the shirts work, the capes work, people put them on, and it makes them feel fucking amazing. And I've had hundreds of women tell me that, but all I needed was one to tell me that it did it for them, and I would still never stop, because that's just me. I just want to inspire and empower and lift others. So BDYPos is thriving and has been thriving. I've been recently talking to camera a little bit about the marketing situation, and the marketing situation is why I'm ghosting Black Friday. So when I switched over to Shopify, so when I first kicked off, I had basically a very lame version of a website done off the back end of another piece of software that we already had a subscription to. Again, zero budget. Eventually, I realized I needed to move over to Shopify because it was, for a good reason, the best e-commerce platform back end for my business, and has amazing like add-ons and just really legitified the whole thing, made it polished, made it look nice, because the user experience it's very important. Obviously, you wouldn't go on a dodgy site and be like, this is just crap. Like, obviously their products are going to be crap. So I had to. I had been tinkering in Facebook ads a little bit, putting, very cautiously $20 here, $20 there, getting nowhere, no online sales, doing some research, and I just kept kind of blowing little chunks of cash. And Mr. Rosie, Josh, said, all right, instead of just wasting money, let's get someone to help us. We need help. Let's back you. I'm backing you. We'll invest. We'll get the professionals involved. So we did a bit of research and we onboarded a marketing agency, which those in the e-commerce land know is a fucking dirty word. Those bastards, they are bastards. So we got onboarded to a mob who promised us the sun and dangled us along and dazzled us with data, empty data, not explaining anything, just going, this is normal, it is crickets, but if we'll tweak it this much and then we'll wait this many days and then this is what will happen. So we're paying them $500 a week plus $500 marketing budget. And it got all the way up to $20K. No return on investment before finally we pulled the plug. And it was absolute detrimental. I was a mess. I felt so guilty. I was like, what's wrong with the shirts? I don't understand. And it was just catastrophic. And they had control over the creatives, which is the images. They had control over the content, the writing, everything. And they kept saying things like, we're just testing. And it was just all fucking bullshit. They were literally just draining money from us and doing jack shit. Since I've taken control of it myself, I was asking them to give me dot points on everything they were doing every week so that I could justify the $500 that I was giving them to do it on my behalf. And they would give me paragraphs of bullshit. And then so I was like, all right, I need to understand the data. I need to understand what I'm fucking looking at. I need to empower myself here. So I took out a course with E-commerce Equation, who are a mob that do like video courses and have a community you can join into. That was brilliant. It taught me how to read the data in analytics, how to set up my accounts, how to, it was the core basics, even to the point of doing a really basic profit and loss for Shopify versus Meta. So Shopify as in incoming revenue, and then the Meta ad spend, so outcoming. So I did that course and I was on with them for about 6 months, and that's when shit fucking started to go crazy. So my trajectory goes like, and then E-commerce Equation goes, and all of a sudden, fuck yeah, I'm churning the sales out. And it was incredible. I had full control. I was doing my own creatives. I was doing everything. I was doing it the way I wanted to do it. I was portraying my beautiful shirts the way I wanted them to be seen. And it was winning. So that was great. But then I plateaued. So I was setting up the ads and I was starting to raise the budget, the daily budget, all the way up to $100 a day, which is pretty fucking crazy. And I was making great sales. But the thing was, I was raising my daily budget to $100 a day, but I was still only making about $100 worth of sales that day. So that's not breaking even, because that doesn't count for what the shirts cost for me to buy, print, and send. Plus all of, my back-end costs, like the subscription for Shopify and, all of my courier stuff and my bits and pieces that I need to actually produce and keep everything afloat. So even if I was selling $100 worth of shirts in a day, I wasn't breaking even at all. So every month by month, I was starting to get closer and closer, but every month I was in the red, either by like 12% or 3%. And it was like, okay, next month, all right, try something else. I was trying to learn how to scale it up. So sometimes I'd just like put more budget behind it because I just need to get fresh eyes. So I'd chuck another $20 in there, and then it would just fall flat. Or it's a very intricate dance between trying to manage the algorithm that Meta gives you to play with, because it's like a sensitive motherfucker, so sensitive, as in if you change the data in your ad sets, if you tweak it in any way, it breaks the algorithm learning, and then the ad goes back to as if it's got no data. So essentially you set an ad up, you give it a daily budget, and you might put 3 or 4 different pictures in there and you just let it go. If you use the AI automated setup that Meta has, it's like, I'll find your people for you because I've got all of the data in the world, because they do. I'll go and find who it is that is going to be interested in your shirts. Off you go. And that might, you've got to let it ride for a week, see what happens. It might get a sale, 2 sales, 3 sales, 10 sales. If it's going really good, you're like, sweet, everything's like all calibrated together. The ad set's working that I did, the text that I wrote's working. Meta's finding buyers and creating a profile. I'm going to slap another $20 on there, or I'm going to add in another image because this month I've got a special or whatever it is. If you tweak it, it can flop. So I was learning by mistake and getting better and polishing all year, but not making a profit, not getting into the green. I was doing consistent 10K months, which is mind-blowing. Like, fuck yeah. Like, this is where the community really started to fucking fill out. And then I was like, okay, we're going really, really well, but I can't break my ceiling. I don't know what's happening. I still am not making any profit. So I was getting quite nervous about that. And then this October, we released our beautiful, beautiful scars, our beautiful, beautiful scars t-shirt, which is our breast cancer awareness shirt. And I decided that it was epic, which it was, and I was going to fucking peddle it. I set up an incredible campaign. My mum was our muse model. I had the woman who inspired the whole shirt, Beck. She also was brave and decided to be the head of our campaigning with her beautiful daughters, and everything was set and it was fantastic. I launched it. It went fucking ballistic. We sold out in the first 10 days. I had to restock. I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is my defining fucking moment. It's happening. So I put up the next part of the campaign and I fed it. I fucking fed it. And it was going well. And I was like, slap another $100 on there, girl. So I turned up the money and it fucking broke the algorithm. This was about mid-October. And I had to wait about 10 days to see whether or not it was going to come back or not. It's out of my hands at this point. I just have to, watch the data like this and be like, holy fuck, did I blow it? Did I blow it? Meanwhile, it's on like I think it was on $300 a day or $350 by this point. So those days are just sinking cash. All the profits I just made are sinking into the market budget, watching them go, wondering if it's going to return. Eventually, I have to cut my losses because as well, Black Friday sales are starting to creep up and I can't compete with that because who can? Black Friday is a beast of its own making and I don't disagree with it. I love a good fucking bargain myself, but that's the time we go and we bulk buy all of our shit from the good brands. I'm not an idiot. I'm not naive. And I was like, I'm going to have to be strategic here. So I turned it off. I turned my Meta ad account off for the first time since I turned it on 12 months before. And I haven't run a marketing ad since. So what does that mean now? Right. Well, I've left it off because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stress myself out over Black Friday this year. I'm going to bow out politely. I'm going to set up the pod. I'm going to focus on that. And of course, because I can't sit still, I've also been working on amazing new designs to drop to you all early next year. So that's what I'm doing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to market my organic funnel. So because I'm dirty on Meta for fucking me over for so long and stealing all my money, and there are other ways to go about it, I'm going to peddle my wares organically. So it'll be via the pod, which is what I'm doing now secretly in case you haven't noticed, and by just doing my normal marketing imagery and videos on my feeds across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And I'm going to use the community I have already and hopefully the reach by making a personal brand and try to do it that way for a little while and see what happens. And since I have turned off my Meta ads, I've still made sales through not marketing heavily, but being present online. So I'm going to try that for a little while. And also because at the end of the day, BodPod it's my love puppy, but it's about you. It's about making women feel empowered. And I don't need to market my shirts through Mark Zuckerberg, motherfucker, to do that. I can do it here. I can do it on my socials. And the shirts are a byproduct. And they are a tangible way for me to help support and uplift you. Obviously, I want to create a fucking huge empire as well. And selling the shirts will help me do that. But for me right now, I just want to focus on building the community. I want to show up for you personally. And I want to spend more time educating women on the things that have helped me become braver, stronger, and more empowered. And I'm still on this journey every single day. And I thought, well, fuck it. I will just show up that way. Because some days I'm a fucking badass. Some days I slay and I've done incredible things. Other days I'm just a big old piece of shit and I just can't get my head out of the clouds. But I want to show you that as a woman, this is how we live. It's our hormones. It's because we actually have so many plates in the air because we're incredible that it's not just set and forget. We don't just reach empowerment and then that's it. It's still fucking hairy, just like my legs. So I'm showing up to show you that body positivity and women's empowerment is a fucking journey. And let's enjoy it and let's be real. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing up real, hairy and real. And all the ugly little bits that have made my beautiful wobbly bits and given me the strength to show up for you, to show you that you're fucking incredible too, and you can do all of the things that I'm doing. So that's now what I'm going to be doing as far as marketing BodPod. I'm marketing this feeling. I'm marketing my own journey in hope that it inspires you to fucking get in there and have a crack too. Right now, I'm obsessed with the idea of deep living. So living deeply. I'm about to turn 36 and I've spent so many years in that self-sabotage, self-doubt, and I've wasted so much energy of my beautiful time not sinking into the fucking riches that I have around me. Delicious food, delicious love, deep cuddles, colors and smells and light and textures, and just those real pleasures that are all around us. That's what I'm into right now. I want to seek fucking amazing joy. I want to seek the fucking crazy dopamine from achieving kick-ass goals. I want to see what I can do. Like if I get myself out on the highway and hit fucking high gear, what else can I achieve? I want to level up the way that I can love. I want to push it to a new level. I want bigger thoughts, deeper satisfaction. These are the things that I'm looking for, and developing my confidence along the way. Because self-confidence isn't just feeling self-confident about the way I look. Self-confidence is also feeling strong and comfortable and happy with the decisions that I've made. Feeling confident with the choices that I make and the way I choose to spend my days. So self-confidence, the way I want to master my own self-confidence is actually moving away from obsessing about feeling self-confident in my physical body. But I want to feel self-confidence in the way of backing myself for making big decisions and knowing that I have the intelligence and strength and core to achieve greatness in my life. And by greatness, I mean deep love, deep happiness. And, I want to get to D-Day and be like, fuck yeah, I rode that pony, baby. I fucking rode that pony. And I don't want to get there and think, God, I can't believe I spent 40 years obsessing over not fitting into a bikini. I don't want to think that. I don't give a fuck anymore. I just want to feel deep joy. That's where I'm at. It's fucking awesome, actually. Boom. Yes. So The other thing I've really want to work on at the moment in self-confidence, moving self-confidence away from my physical appearance. I want to feel self-confident within myself and learn how to be so comfortable that I'm okay with being disliked and that I'm not seeking respect or approval. Of course, respect is an important thing, and good communication is the key to success, and having respect with the person you're communicating with and receiving it and giving it is super fucking important. But I'm not begging for it. I'm not going to be begging for respect of anyone. If they don't choose to give it to me, I want to be able to acknowledge that. I want to be able to self-regulate it immediately and not be like, holy fuck, this person didn't give me respect. This person doesn't like me. Is it me? What should I change? Should I grovel to them? Should I try to approach them again? Should I say it differently? Should I go and get them a present? Should I feed them? Like, no, fuck all that off. I'm learning my self-confidence to be, I don't need to be liked. I don't need to be approved or to receive respect from others if they choose not to give it to me. I want to have the poise and the resilience to be able to go, okay, cool, not my person. I'm going to take my energy elsewhere and do it having self-regulated myself to not blow out like a lunatic and be like, fuck you, mate, fuck you. I mean, it feels a little good, but ultimately I want to try to be a bit more articulate than that. Fuck you. Maybe not all the time, maybe sometimes. Just a little abusive, depending on who it is. I'll save those ones for Mr. Rosie. Yeah, but yeah, so self-confidence is so much more than body positivity. Like, body positivity is a amazing glowing side effect of learning self-confidence about who you are and letting go from the need of approval from others, and seeking to be liked. You just got to let that shit go. And if they don't like you back, it's actually fine. And they can go fuck off. Actually, not even. They don't need to fuck off. It just doesn't matter. This is what I mean by try to regulate before you react. Learning how to self-regulate is something new to me, and I definitely will get back to you once I figure it out. But I want to be offended, slapped in the face by someone's fucktardery, and then be so fucking cool that I regulate like that, and then I don't respond and just leave them hanging and burning with the hook still in their hand. That to me is badassery, and that's my next, fucking personal goal. Be the silent offender. It sounds like a fart, actually. Right. Yeah. Okay. So lastly, a thing I wanted to talk about today is turning our insecurities into superpowers. A few months ago, I did a reel that went off about my crow's feet and my wrinkles on my face, which I have been trying really hard to take care of in the last 5 years. But genetically, my family are big smilers with big crow's feet. We smile with our face, and that's it. And however, in my previous life as an alcoholic, obviously I fucked my shit up and I had some really bad skin, damaged, puffy, deep wrinkles, and I was very insecure about it because I felt when I looked in the mirror like I was looking at a 70-year-old. Not the case, but this is what happens when you hyperfixate and you have a really low self-esteem. That's what you see, and no one can tell you otherwise. So these have been a massive insecurity for me. And yes, I do self-care. So I have nice skin products that I've invested in. And the way that I heal my wound is through my self-care. So I take good care of my face and my skin. I always wear great sunblock, zinc-based sunblock. I don't wear foundation generally, very rarely. And I have a nighttime routine. I have a red light thing that I sometimes do like a sauna or red light combo and then put a really nice deep moisturizer on. Anyway, this is not a makeup channel. And I don't know shit about it. That's just what I do. However, turning my deepest insecurities into my superpower, what I've learnt is that there is so much relief and camaraderie. When you change the perspective on something that is your biggest insecurity into making it a superpower, particularly a physical attribute, particularly when it involves a woman's body. What the fuck do I mean? I'll tell you. So, for me, my wrinkles, my crow's feet, represent the fact that I am a woman. I'm a woman who's 30, almost 6 years old. I've smiled and laughed a lot. I am not a Barbie doll. I've got wrinkles, and I represent all the women who have wrinkles on their face. For them, I'd rather be the fucking leader of the wrinkle brigade, and I'd rather show up wrinkly and free for them and show them that with my wrinkles comes great power. That is what I want, rather than trying to fucking scrub and polish who I am genetically away from my face. But you couldn't tell me that earlier, because I'd be like, well, how will anyone take me seriously when I just look like an old crackhead? But because I've been working on my well-being, my mental health space, and taking away the power of the physical attributes to actually me as a whole, as a person, I'm then saying, well, yeah, wrinkles are real. They are part of my face, and they represent a real woman, all of the women in my bracket and beyond, and some below that have wrinkles. And I'd rather age well and say, yes, we get wrinkles, but yes, that's who we are, and there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, this represents that I am a woman, and that I am a woman of a certain age, and that I have untapped ability, and I'm fucking strong and fierce. And if I fall into the category of a 36-year-old natural strong woman, then I'm all for it. And also because if it means that I can be representative of all the fucking women and how amazing and beautiful we are, I'm fucking there, baby. It's also like, say you've got a big voluptuous booty, and you're like, well, I've got a big bum. That means that I'm no good. But if you think about it, so many women have big, beautiful bums. How about if you were the fucking amazing, juicy leader of the big bum brigade, and you were like, I represent all the fucking women, and I'm going to show them that it's okay to have a big, beautiful bum. And imagine all the big bums dancing behind you going, woo, 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 woo. You know, that should give you power. These are the people that we should be impressing, the other big bum ladies, not the fucking dweebs with grills and arseholes on TikTok who think that they know shit when they don't fucking know shit, and they'll have tiny little ding-dongs and they can fuck off. Sorry. We represent the women, and we want to impress only those women. Everyone else, the haters, the people that give out names like Fat Roll Titty, they can all just fuck right off, as far as I'm concerned. Oh my God. Look, I don't know if this has given you any benefit, but I've had a nice time. I feel like this has been quite a good therapy session for me. I've word vomited a lot. And now I'm going to go. Also because, well, it's school pickup time. But I want to thank you so much for being with me today. I want to thank you for listening. And I really hope that you can find something to giggle at in this and some inspiration. Maybe you could think about a way that self-confidence can look for you that's outside of the way we look. Maybe it's another thing that you could learn self-confidence for. Maybe it's the self-confidence to talk to someone at Woolies, to start up a conversation with someone new, introduce yourself to someone new, start a new class, go to the gym, go to Zumba, go to dragon boat racing, go to volley squash. Maybe your self-confidence you need to find is for something outside of the way we look. Okay, that's a wrap, my love. Thank you again so much for being here with me, and I can't wait for episode 5. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, please, and share. That would be fucking epic. All right, big love. Bye.